morning. Good morning, numbers. Good morning, Team Wicked Smart. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Here comes drama. Good morning, Kyoka. Good morning. We have a lot to talk about because I have a lot. I have a lot of feelings. I have a lot of feelings. None of them are good, but I have a lot of feelings. Um, let's just start off strong. I absolutely believe. First of all, can you hear me? My mic is low. Can y'all hear me? Morning, Kim. I absolutely believe Hank Brennan knew exactly what he was doing and he did not care. Call me what you like. He absolutely knew what he was doing and he did not care. And he did not care because he knows nothing is going to happen to him. That weak ass instruction she gave, she didn't even strike anything. She didn't even say the thing she said she was going to say. What happened to all the strikes? Let me tell you something. When a prosecutor blatantly lies like that, and people will say he didn't lie, he made a mistake, he didn't know, I don't care. You know who did know? Lally knew. That other lady sitting up there knew. And he knew. And you know how I know he knew? Because why is this the first time we are hearing about those holes today? We've been talking about the holes in the sleeve since the beginning of this case. And we've never heard about holes in the back of the hoodie. You know why? Because he knew. He knew. But what happens is Hank Brennan, I keep telling y'all, cannot see the forest through the trees. He feels like his jury is dumb. And he thinks they mind wipe at the end of every day. He thinks his jury goes home and memory wipes at the end of every day. And all they're focused on right now, today, is the witness he's talking to right now, today. And so he needs to win the argument with the witness he has on the stand right now, today. God be damned what it does to his other witnesses, because he doesn't think his jury is smart. Okay, so he's thinking nobody's going to even know. Nobody's going to even know. And I'm going to have this bombshell moment because you see, he wasn't getting the reaction from Dr. Wolf that he needed to get. He wasn't getting those big bam punches that he needed to get because he's only focused on winning with the witness he has on the stand right now. And he wasn't getting it. So he tried to come up with this bombshell moment, and he ended his cross on that. He thought it was a bomb. He thought it was a big deal. And for you to come back and say, oh, the holes in the hoodie came from the crime lab, that's not enough. And I don't know what this jury is doing. I mean, this defense is doing. Let me tell you again, we have to call the balls and the strikes. Where are you, defense team? Where are you? You should have said, wait a minute. We don't need to do this right now. We want to take time to write out a statement. And hopefully Hank Brennan, the one who made the error, will agree. But if not, we can have you look at it. But you're not going to rush us through what we want to say to this jury when he just lied to them. And then for her to get all attitudey with Alessi, well, if you're not going to listen, how do you have an attitude with me right now? I'm telling you, I could not do this job. I could not do this job for judges like her. For judges like her, I know I don't have the temperament for judges like her. Because if I was a Leslie, I'd have been like, oh, you mad? Oh, you're mad? I got something you should be mad about. You don't have no grave concerns over there, Bev? Because I got something you should have a grave concern about. She got the nerve to be attitude that they don't want to listen to her. We can't confer right quick. We can't talk to each other right quick. You mean to tell me I got to decide what I want this to say right now? No, I shouldn't have to. I should be able to take a minute because he just flat out lied. And then The stuff she said she was going to say, she didn't even say. She didn't even say. I will come back today, while they're doing whatever they're doing this morning, and be like, listen, and by the way, we didn't like that instruction you gave the jury, and we wanted to be more forceful. And I know she's going to say no, but I'm going to say, you know what? I want to make a record, because you did not strike his comments, and you did not let the jury know that what he did was wrong. Because there is at least one dummy on the jury who did not put it together. What happened? There's always one. There's always one juror who's just an idiot, who did not put it together. What happened? And that instruction didn't make it clear for them. And it should have. It should have. Because what Hank Brennan was trying to do in his questioning was make it seem like Dr. Wolf didn't do his job, and that there was road rash on the back of this hoodie in order to make it seem like a collision happened. There's always one juror who did not put that together with that instruction you gave them. And it's just not fair. It's just not fair. Hank Brennan does what he wants because he knows nothing will happen. He'd rather do it and ask for forgiveness, which he doesn't even have to ask for, because he knows Bev's not going to have any grave concerns. All the little comments and all the little snips that he makes, a prosecutor should not be able to do that. They should not be able to do that. That is not giving her a fair trial. When you have all these little quips, you're the prosecutor. I know you're used to being the defense attorney, but you're the prosecutor now. You should not have all of these little statements that you're making. Meanwhile, you make sure to let the jury know when Alan Jackson is the one snapping. You make sure to let the jury know what the lawyer says is not evidence, but you never do it to Hank. And Hank absolutely believes his jury is dumb. So he only asks questions the way he asks the questions because he wants them to think that the questions are evidence, which is why he asks them, did you say this? And they be like, no. He doesn't care. He knew the answer was no. He doesn't care. He doesn't care if the answer was no. He wants this, how he acts. This is why he asks questions the way he asks the questions. It's absolutely ridiculous, and it's not fair. And it's not fair. And I felt the same way during the YSL trial when we had Judge Glanville. It's just not fair. And how you must feel as a defendant when the judge is against you. I just wonder if Karen is sitting there just preparing herself for prison. Because when the judge is against you, it is a hard battle. It is a hard battle. When there is any question that is judge's discretion, we know that she's going with the prosecution. The only time she sides with the defense is when she absolutely has to, by the rule of law. And it's by the hair of her chinny chin chin, the same way she did with Dr. Russell. It was a tight call. But now you want to use Dr. Russell as the yardstick. You just said it was a tight call. Now she's the measuring stick, which is why Dr. Leposada can't testify. She's a bitch. I'm sorry, Pam. But she's a bitch. And it's not fair. It's not fair. Now you want to use Dr. Russell as the way in which you measure whether or not dog bite experts can testify when she was a tight call a few months ago. And what the fuck is a dog bite class? Why does he keep bringing that up? And she feels like that's a serve. What is it? Where is it? No matter how many times these doctors tell you there's no such thing, she keeps disqualifying. You know how easy it is to be qualified as an expert in anybody else's court? In anybody else's court? Did you see in the YSL trial how these people were qualified as gang experts? One of them said he watched Boys in the Hood. Do you know how easy it is to qualify as an expert? And for some reason, Dr. Leposada qualified as a dog bite expert in federal court. In federal court. But for some reason, Vladimir Putin sitting up there decides she ain't good enough for this little rinky-dink ass courtroom. It's not fair. And that's what everybody should get, fair. They should just get fair. And it's not fair. The way in which she has no consistency. And she doesn't care. She doesn't care because who's going to check her? It's so hard. It's so hard to reprimand judges. You know why? Because judges make the rules and by which you can reprimand judges, and they don't want to ever have themselves reprimanded, so they make them so hard to question the judge. And then first of all, I need to calm down. I'm an adult. I need to calm down. I was so mad, you guys, because why does she keep talking about the jury? I'm finding it because she only cares about the jury's time when it's in regards to the defense case. Even when it was in the prosecution case, she would only ask Alan Jackson, how much longer does he have? And then she would bring it back to Hank Brennan and say, oh, I guess it depends on how long he takes, as if it's the defense that's dragging this case out. And then she always acts like we're on the jury's time. Well, guess what? Do you know why we're on the jury's time? I'll tell you why. You know why we're taking too much time today? I'll tell you why. Because Hank Brennan decided to file a motion late when he had this evidence for months. Why are you looking at me like I'm wasting the jury's time? How about you say, Hank Brennan, we're wasting the jury's time because you just not wanted to file a motion. I'm going to deny it. It's like Hank Brennan is the reason we're wasting the jury's time, and then you call it out for the defense. I would lose my mind. I could never do this job, you guys. And goddamn the jury. They're on jury duty. It is what it is. Sometimes you got to sit. Sometimes you got to sit. And what happened to we're on trial, we're on task, we're ahead of schedule when you had all those half fucking days? Your fault. Your fault. You're on jury duty. It is what it is. They had those people on jury duty in Atlanta for a damn year. It is what it is. Sit there and shut up. But she never makes it seem like the reason they have problems in timing is because of Hank Brennan, and it's always because of Hank Brennan. It's always because of Hank Brennan. And I love that Alan Jackson said, well, it's a murder trial. They gonna wait. It's good. The jury is fed up. Fed up with what? Do you know what they're fed up with? How do you know what they're fed up with? How do you know that they're fed up? What are you talking about? What you know that I don't know? Tell me something. Tell me something. How do you know that the jury is fed up? And how you know what they fed up? They might be fed up with your ass. Did you ever think about that? The jury is fed up. Tell them to bring a book, sit down, and shut up. Sometimes you're going to have to wait. It is what it is. It is what it is. That's what juries do. Sometimes you got to wait. Don't rush me because of the jury. This is a murder trial. They're ready to get this case. Exactly, Team Wicked Smart. I don't care. They don't run shit here. They don't run shit here. That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. They're going to wait. They're going to wait because we're not done. Don't rush me through all my arguments because you want to get to the jury. That's why she rushed through that that's why she rushed through that instruction, because you're trying to hurry up and get back to the jury when I feel like the defense should have had time to write out an instruction they liked, and it should have included an admonition of the prosecution. Absolutely. Absolutely. Should have included something to say the prosecutor intended to ask these questions and it was wrong. He was trying to imply that the holes on the back of the hoodie came from road rash when in fact they came from the crime lab. It absolutely should have included an admonition of the prosecutor. Do you remember when Judge Whitaker gave Attorney Love, what was it called? What did she give her? She did something. Whatever it was a big, and it was in front of the jury because she went and put up something that they had just talked about in sidebar that they were not going to put up or not going to ask questions about, and she did it anyway. And admonishment in front of the jury, which is what Hank Brennan should have gotten. And who was he looking at? Who was he looking at? Was he trying to seem like... First of all, he needs to be in a Hollywood movie. Because the way he can turn it on and turn it off is amazing. And who was he looking at? Was he trying to look all like apologetic when he said, I made a mistake, and he looked over to the side? Was he looking at John's mother? Who was he looking at? Either way, I don't give a damn. Was he looking at Karen? I don't know who he was looking at. Either way, it pissed me off. Either way, it pissed me off. It's not fair is the bottom line, and I don't know how I would be able to take it. I wouldn't be able to take it. I wouldn't be able to take it. I would lose my mind. The fact that you flat out lied, ended your cross on it like it was the bomb, and the fact that you continue to make comments. I don't know if the defense is just like, you know what? I don't know if they're just exhausted with it all. I don't know what's going on. But I wouldn't give Hank Brennan a bit of leeway. Every time he made a comment, I would stand up in open court and say, Judge, enough. This is the prosecutor. And I wouldn't care what she said. I wouldn't care what she said. You're not going to do anything, so I'm going to let the jury know myself that it's not okay. Judge, enough. It's not okay. This is the prosecutor. How many times with the comments? What are we going to do about it? What are we going to do about it? So not only do you have all of these odd-ass comments, you get up there and flat out lie, and make no mistake, it was a lie. He knew. I don't care. You can't convince me of anything else. Can't convince me of anything else. He absolutely knew. He absolutely knew, because why is this the first time we're hearing about it? But again, he memory wipes at the end of every day, and he thinks I have to win this battle against this witness. I don't care what it means for the rest of them. The same reason we heard him for damn near a day. Asked Dr. Wolf why he used the 50th percentile dummy, only to find out your expert used the same one. It's like what is wrong with him? What is wrong with him? It's like he uses a Men in Black memory wipe every day, and he hopes the jury is doing the same thing. And then he keeps the same tone because he's a gaslighter. That's not what I asked you. I know you didn't. However, how are you questioning me on the dummy I use when your expert used the same one? Are you going to ask him the same questions? And ask him the same questions. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. But he thinks his jury is dumb. So he doesn't care. He doesn't care about what it looks like to his other witnesses. He hopes the witnesses he hopes the jury is just paying attention to the tone of his voice and feeling like, well, he's talking like he's dumb, so he must be dumb. He's sounding like he's just not interested, and this is not smart, so it must not be interesting or smart. Because how are you asking questions when if I answer this question, it makes your experts look ridiculous? And what is this motion he has against Dr. Rechler? Let me tell you something. For Hank Brennan to stand up there before this trial started and say, I want Arca to testify, I invited, and then try to stop them at every single turn is why he's a master gaslighter. It's why he's a master gaslighter. Because you never wanted them to testify. And because he knows that Kim Jong-un up there has a hard-on for Arca herself, he knows that he can just make up any argument he can ever in the world, and she's going to find a way to make it fit. She's going to find a way to make it fit. Because Bev doesn't like that the feds are in this case at all. She hates it, in fact. She hates it, in fact. And you know that Brennan wanted to ask Dr. Wolf about whether or not the Justice Department was feeding him lies, but he didn't want to give that to the jury. He didn't want to let the jury know that the feds were talking to Arca. So he had to leave that out. And you know that was burning his fucking soul. That was burning his soul because he's a liar. He's a gaslighter. Because when Dr. Wolf talked about who they work for, do you realize that Hank Brennan got back up there and said, and don't you work for insurance companies? He knows that that other jury thought they worked for the insurance company, but he's so dumb. And he only wants to win the argument at hand that he forgets that if you ask them about insurance company, now Alan Jackson gets to ask them, do you work for an insurance company? Where he couldn't before. It's like he is so laser focused on winning the argument that he's having that he doesn't think about all the other avenues that somebody else can come from. And he almost doesn't care. He almost doesn't care because he thinks his jury is dumb. He thinks his jury's dumb. He thinks if it doesn't matter what the defense says or what they get out, as long as I get up and talk in this ridiculous, sarcastic, condescending tone, they'll believe me. Because, you know, they're not smart. That's all. That's it. And we'll see what she says about this missing witness instruction. If it's not black letter law, she's going to go with the prosecution. And we already know it. And I think the defense is just, I think they're just tired. And I hope I understand it. I understand being just tired and just being like, ugh, whatever. I get it. But also, Karen might go to jail for a very long time. If she is convicted, this judge is not giving her any leeway. She's not giving her any leeway. So I would fight her right now in trial every chance I get. Every chance I get. I would not let anything slide. I would not just be objecting to his comments. I would be saying something afterwards. And it's not the same thing when Alan Jackson does it. He's a defense attorney. It's not the same. It's not the same because juries already come in with the idea. Most juries already come in with the idea that whoever's sitting in the defense chair did it. It is what it is. It's not supposed to be, but it is what it is. It is what it is. So I have to be a little more. I have to be extra as in the defense chair. You got to be a little bit more to make sure they understand what's actually happening. The prosecutor is not supposed to be throwing in little quips when you came in and feigned ignorance. Oh my God. I know he used to get beat up in school. I know he used to get beat up in school. Because I feel like every time Dr. Wolf hits you with that little half smile, he really want to slap you. That's why he's smiling. That's why he's smirking. Because he like, man, I will slap the shit out of you. Because who are you talking to? Who exactly are you speaking to? It's unnecessary. It's unnecessary. If you actually had a point, it's unnecessary. Make the point or sit down. Make the point or sit down. He was losing. He was losing. And so he thought he had a bombshell with that hoodie, and he didn't care one way or the other. Because one, either you're not even running it by Lally and McLaughlin. You're not even saying, hey, I think I want to do this. And I don't see him doing that, because I think the same way he talks to the witnesses is how he talks to the rest of the prosecutors in that office. Because again, he gets to pack his shit and leave when this is over. He doesn't have to keep relationships with you people at all. The same way he talks to witnesses is, I think, how he talks to the rest of them. And I think Lally was like, go ahead, man. Go ahead. I want to let you look dumb right quick. It's absolutely on purpose, because if not, we would have heard it before. We would have heard it before. We've been talking about holes and things for a month. We would have heard it before. We've never heard it before because he knew that it was incorrect. The same reason why he laid it up there at the witness chair and never showed the defense. He was hoping they would not even catch it. He was hoping they wouldn't catch it. And even if they did, see, the thing with Hank Brennan is he does this thing, but I'm sure he weighs his options. How much? The first time he lied, nothing happened. Second time he lied, nothing happened. All these little comments he makes, nothing happens. So he said, you know what? Either they catch it or they don't. 1 second. Yes, ma'am. She had to tell me to take her to TT Ray House. Anyway, he weighs his options, is what he does. He says, you know what? I'm going to do this. What's going to happen? He has realized nothing is going to happen. After that small little one sentence instruction they got, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes off the rails. With the comments, with the actions, with the things he does, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes off the rails, because he has realized she's not going to do anything. She's not going to do anything about anything. I was so mad that she tried to rush them through the instruction. Thank you. That was my little baby. She's just woke up and now she's ready to go to Auntie's house. I was so mad when we found out that he lied. And then I was mad when she tried to rush them through an instruction, because give them a minute. Give them a minute. Forget what the jury is doing. Give them a minute. And then the fact that you don't even want them to talk to each other, to be like, oh, if you're not going to listen. Obviously, we're discussing what you're talking about. I don't have to decide this on my toes. I don't have to decide this right now. Give me a second. She can only go to jail for the rest of her life. It's fine. It's fine. It's like she forgets who is on trial. I just cannot imagine how they feel when you feel like the judge is against you. More peace to Karen, more life, more hope, more endurance, because I would be losing my mind. I would be losing my mind. It's just not fair. It's just not fair. It's not fair, and that's a problem. They already know she's not going to grant a mistrial. I don't give a damn if Hank Brennan stood up there and made an AI video of Karen Reed hitting John O'Keefe with her car. She'd be like, jury, that video wasn't real. Let's keep going. They know there is no mistrial coming, but they still have to ask for it. And then the fact that you won't even give me time to make an instruction that I like, when he messed up, it's just not fair. It's just not fair. And to rush them along and blame it on the jury is also not fair, because the reason we're always in doing something else is because of Hank Brennan filing motions at the last minute when he knew Dr. Leposada's been testifying since March. Do you ever? She has no control over it, her courtroom. Hank Brennan runs it. Hank Brennan runs that courtroom, and how that must feel to Karen. How that must feel. I feel like I would be sitting there preparing myself for jail. I really would. I really would. And hoping that an appeal didn't take 10 years. I would just be sitting there saying, you know what? I'm probably going to jail. And not because I did it, and not because the evidence say I did it. But when you got 2 against 1 working in tandem, it's a hard fight to win. It's a hard fight to win. The jury should absolutely know for a fact, unequivocally, that the prosecutor did this and it was wrong. And strike everything you heard. She didn't even strike it. She didn't even strike the question and the answers. So they can still consider it. And I'm telling you, if all the jurors aren't dumb, there's one. There's always one. There's always one. There's always at least one, I'll say. There's always at least one that is sitting there with their head in the clouds who don't understand what just happened. They have no idea what just happened. And it should have been clear. And it should have been clear that Hank Brennan did it, and he shouldn't have. And we're not even going to talk about how Dr. Leposada is not qualified. What makes a doctor qualified? Why? Why is wound pattern recognition not enough to recognize dog bites? I don't know about this secret dog bite community they think everybody got going on, but somebody point me in the direction. In fact, Dr. Russell, get on your Zoom. Okay, get on your Zoom. Make $1 million selling a dog bite wound recognition class, because apparently that's all you need. Even though all these doctors have said there's no such thing. There's a bundle of wound recognition that includes knife wounds, gunshot wounds, scratch wounds, accident wounds, dog bite wounds. But for some reason, seems only Mr. Brennan and Vladimir Putin are the only two who think that there's a specific dog bite class somewhere. Nobody knows where. Nobody knows where you teach it. Nobody knows who teaches it, and nobody knows where to get it. But apparently they think it's somewhere, and these doctors who have performed over 10,000 autopsies are the ones who haven't taken it. Dr. Russell has a very unique set of skill. She was a cop. She was an ER doctor. She was a ME. She has a very keen interest in dogs, and it was a tight fight for her. It was a thin line to get her through. This woman was the ME over all of Rhode Island. Everywhere, everybody, anywhere in the States. And you're telling me she's not qualified to talk about dog bites? You think she never seen them? You think she never seen them? What are we talking about? What are we talking about? This woman is dead set on sending Karen to prison and not giving the jury all the evidence they should have. It just is what it is. What is a dog bite class? Is there any papers? Is there any classes that you can point to? Shut up. It's no such thing. There's no such thing. But I tell you what, Dr. Leposada, Dr. Russell, y'all have found a new form of income. Because apparently the only way you get qualified in Vladimir Putin's courtroom is to have a dog bite class. Be part of a dog bite community. Whatever the fuck that is. What is that? What is a dog bite community? Is it a Facebook group? Tell me what you're talking about. No matter how many times these very accomplished doctors tell you there's no such thing, you keep looking at them, point me to a paper. There's no such thing. It's called wound pattern recognition. It's a bunch of things. I shouldn't be an ME if I can't determine that these were dog bites. See, the thing is, in Hank Brennan and Beverly Canone do this so much, they talk out both sides of their neck, right? Because they don't want to listen to Dr. Scorty Bello when she says this is undetermined and doesn't look like a collision. But they want to go on her side because she's not the one who said these look like dog bites. She couldn't tell what they were. So y'all want to use her for both of those things. How do you do that? How are you biting both sides of the apple? She's not smart enough, and we don't want to listen to her when she says it doesn't look like collision. But we're going to listen to her, and she's going to be the yardstick by which we say these are dog bites. How do you do that? They do that so much. They use these witnesses as a sword and a shield so much. Because how is Dr. Russell barely making it in one ruling, and now she's the yardstick by which you measure any other dog bite expert? And the only reason is she had ER. So if she got ER, then I would have let her in it. How are y'all doing that? How are y'all doing that? It's simply not fair. It's simply not fair. And that is the way to make me so angry, because I tell y'all all the time, I love this thing called law. I love it. I love watching it. I love analyzing it. I love watching good lawyers lawyer. I love watching good judges be good judges. And when it's not fair, oh, it makes me so mad. It makes me so mad. Because how dare you? How dare you in front of the world? And where are all, the same way I said, where are all the cops? Where are all the judges? Where are all the judges? Where are all the prosecutors? I need to hear from y'all. Do y'all think this is okay? Do y'all think this is okay? Because one thing about it, usually lawyers don't have a problem calling out lawyers. We don't have a problem saying that shit was dumb. He shouldn't have done it. That was stupid. Because we care about what we look like. I don't need you to associate all lawyers with Hank Brennan. Okay? I need you to know that that's not usually how we do it. That's usually not how it goes. I don't want you to be looking at me like him. But for some reason, the judges won't come out and say, that lady is absolutely biased. The same way they wouldn't say Judge Glanville was biased. I want to hear at least one sitting judge say, you know what? That was a ridiculous ruling.
Mommy. Mama?
Yes?
My booty is itchy.
Okay, go. Upstairs.
No, I'm sitting upstairs.
Okay. It's just not fair. And what do you do? What do you do? You just got to sit there and take it and just keep going. And just keep going. But I feel like the defense tries not to upset her so much because they're like, oh, this is the thing. I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care about upsetting her because it is what it is at this point. I'm at least going to get it on the record. I'm at least going to get it on the record. I realize that you are going to do what you're going to do, and everything you're going to do is going to be against me anyway. So I'm at least going to get it on the record. I'm at least going to get on the record. Every time Hank Brennan opens his mouth, I'm going to get on the record. Every time I feel like you rule against me unfairly, I'm going to get it on the record. I feel like Alan Jackson tried to with the Dr. Laposada. Like, how is it fair that he gets to file this motion when he's had this evidence forever? Because the problem is, that if it's the other way around, she does not give it to the defense when they are the person that should get all the leeway. They're the ones who should get all the span, and there should be the ones who say, I really don't want to do it, but I'm going to give it to you because I want to protect your client's rights. She gives that to the prosecution as if they have some rights to protect. They have none. They have none. I would say to Hank Brennan, after he filed this motion, is there a reason you're just now giving this to me? I'm not even looking at it. Denied. I'm not even looking at it. When we don't have time. If you're so worried about the jury's time, I'm not even looking at this. Because we're not going to waste the jury's time on something you could have filed when we were doing pretrial motions. I'm not even looking at this. Move along. It's ridiculous. Let's get out of here. We got some super chats. Thank you, Team Wicked Smart. New conspiracy theory. Bev is doing her worst to set up Jackson to finally snap at her so she can hold him in contempt of court in order to keep him from giving the closing arguments. Don't make me sad, Team Wicked Smart. Don't make me sad. Because I don't disagree. I would say that's why I was saying the only reason Yannetti is the only one who goes at her is because he's the only one who can't be kicked out. He's the only one from Boston who's... Don't make me sad. Don't make me sad. Because I don't want to even consider your conspiracy theory, Team Wicked Smart, because it's making me sad. Grandma Law Nerd, thank you for the super chat. You know it was planned because he had the shirt sitting up there hidden from the defense. Bev wouldn't allow Dr. Dimples to keep the tail light when he was still using it 100%. You can't make me think anything different. You can't make me think anything different. He knew. He knew. And I don't care what anybody says. He knew. He knew. And if he didn't know, Lally knew. One of them knew those hoes did not come from the road. Because we would have heard about it 17 times by now. He's a liar. But he knows nothing is going to happen. So he keeps lying. He keeps walking around the truth. He keeps sneaking in little comments and little questions that he knows shouldn't be there. Because what's going to happen? What's going to happen? What's going to happen? The defense tries to limit it because she will absolutely say something to the jury when the defense does it. But what's going to happen? Nothing. Nothing. So he does what he wants. Let's see what happens today. I hope they come in there and ask for a better instruction about that shirt. I hope they come in and ask for a better instruction about that shirt. And I hope they come in and try to make her reconsider Dr. Laposada because it's ridiculous. Her ruling on that is ridiculous. And I'm sick of her. I am sick of her. Let's keep Karen lifted up in prayer. Give her the strength, give her the endurance to handle what it is she is going through because I couldn't. I could not. I could not. I'm telling you right now, I absolutely could not. I don't think I would wish this on my worst enemy. The fact that she walks in there every day and sits down with a straight face without screaming to the top of her lungs. Amazing. Amazing. Because I'd be in there saying every cuss word in the book. I might even learn some in Spanish and French. Because I would be losing my mind. Y'all have a good day. Oh, here comes drama numbers. Your things are on the way. The merch is some of the merch is linked on my YouTube page. If you guys want to check that out, not all of it. We still have some more coming, but we got to get numbers in her. We got to get our quality control first before we put more merch up there. So once she gets it, she tell me how she likes it. We'll put some more merch up there. Y'all have a good day. Y'all going to keep Karen lifted in prayer. We're going to see what kind of mess Bev has going on today, because every day I think nothing else crazy can happen in this trial, and every day I'm proven wrong. So we'll see what craziness happens today. Y'all have a good day.